Hello, Joe from JS Copywriting here. A lot of physiotherapists, I mean not even just physios to be fair, but in my particular industry what I've found is a lot of physiotherapists and sports therapists alike, when they start building their clinic and they think, right, I need to get more patients, I need to start getting people in the doors and actually get the ball rolling, get the cogs moving. A lot of people get what I call shiny object syndrome. And what I mean by this is that they flit around from tactic to tactic, trying different things, and even if they don't succeed first time, it's usually, it goes along the lines of somewhere like they say, right, I'm going to try some Facebook ads. I'm going to run some Facebook ads to my website and just see what happens. They don't measure the effectiveness. They don't tweak things until they get it right and start developing better results. They just think, oh, fuck it, I'm not going to bother anymore, and they go on to the next thing. So the next thing they might try, they've heard someone else say, oh, YouTube, using YouTube's the best way to go, or Google AdWords, or whatever, and they'll move on to the next thing. I'll try that, and after a few days I think, oh shit, that's not working, I'm going to move on to the next thing, and the next thing, and the next thing. And they go and flip from thing to thing, and they don't give it time. They don't test to start with. They don't test and measure the numbers and the results they're getting in the first place. So how can they actually say whether it worked or not? You can't. And the other thing is that by not giving themselves the time to try it and only taking 2-3 days, maybe a week if they're particularly focused, shall we say, it's still not enough. It can take weeks and months to really dial in on a particular tactic. But here's the thing, it's not just, if you're one of these people that jumps from thing to thing, trying different things, then you're more focused on the tactics as opposed to the overall strategy. And the strategy is where the success is. So it's using the long-held principles of marketing and copywriting and actually using that and intertwining them with new tactics coming out. Because the other thing as well, if you rely solely on tactics, then you're going to get the rug pulled out from underneath you. And what I mean by this is that a lot of, in fact, I'm just going to say business owners in general, there's a lot of business owners, aside from physiotherapists, sports therapists and the like, who rely so heavily on Facebook advertising. And it's great. It's a great platform. You can get some really awesome results with it. And it's a direct response marketing method. So you can really get some tangible results in quite relatively short period of time if you hit the ball out the park from the get-go, which doesn't usually happen anyway. But if Facebook disappears one day, if something happens, and especially with this business recently with the lawsuits and stuff they've had brought on over data breaches, if they disappear, then these business owners are absolutely, they're stuffed. They're up shit creek without a paddle. And that's the worst thing you can do, is put all of your eggs into one basket and then think, and then have to move on to the next thing and the next thing. And you haven't got a strategy in place. You can't take consistent action because you don't know what you're doing from one day to another. All right. So first things first, you need to pick one, maybe two things to begin with. All right. Just focus on those one or two marketing activities. Say if one of them is particularly time consuming, then pick one that's slightly more time consuming, and perhaps you need to pick something else, perhaps perhaps it is Facebook advertising, I don't know, but it doesn't take particularly long each day to actually monitor the effectiveness. But if you pick one or two of these tactics, these marketing tactics, put them into place, but have a way to measure it to start with, but also you need to give it time. You've got to give it the time. Take the time to actually take action every day, all right, towards it, and give it a good. I mean, you need to give it months. Perhaps if it's up to 6 months, and then you say, right, that's it. You cut it off and you try something else. Fair enough. But unless you can say you tried everything you've looked into it, you've done the research, perhaps you've asked the people who know what they're doing. You know, everyone needs to have experts in different areas, learn from them, put things into practice, and if the results don't come after months and months and months of hard graft, then maybe it is the time to give up, or maybe it's not. But in any case, test and focus, and that's it. Just stick to what you've chosen. Don't flip from one thing to the other. All right? Anyway, I'm off, and have at it. Talk to you soon. Ta-da.